I still go for walks every morning, but after a few hundred meters, my knees start to ache. I guess it's just age.
Whether you're 50, 60, or 70, remember, your body can still heal. You just need to move right, eat right, and rest right.
I'm Dr. Noah Jupe, a physical therapist specializing in women's health and mobility restoration, currently practicing in London. Over the past 20 years, I've met countless women once strong, energetic, and constantly balancing work, family, and life. But as they reached their 50 seconds, things began to change. Many told me they no longer felt like themselves. Some said they got tired faster, climbing stairs became difficult, or even bending down to tie their shoes hurt their backs. Others struggled with poor sleep, loss of balance, or the feeling that their bodies had become heavier. What struck me most, though, wasn't the physical symptoms, it was the look in their eyes. That mix of worry and helplessness when they said,
I'm afraid I'm aging too fast.
The truth is, women's bodies don't weaken because of time, but because of biological imbalance. As estrogen levels drop, muscles shrink faster, bone density decreases, and circulation slows down. When key muscle groups like the hips, thighs, and lower back lose strength, balance, and mobility decline, every movement becomes harder, and the fear of falling takes over. I remember one of my patients, Margaret Williams, 63, a retired teacher from Oxford. She entered my clinic slightly hunched, holding onto a chair for balance.
I still go for walks every morning, but after a few hundred meters, my knees start to ache. I guess it's just age.
I smiled. Not really, Margaret. It's not your age, it's that your body hasn't been guided to move the right way. After 50, women need a smarter approach to movement, not harder workouts, but ones that activate the right muscles, support hormones, and naturally nourish the joints. I often tell my patients, think of your body like a garden in autumn. If you neglect it, weeds grow and the soil dries. But with a little care, water, sunlight, attention, it can stay vibrant and full of life. The same goes for your body. With gentle movement, good nutrition, and patience, it can thrive again. I told Margaret about a study from Oxford University showing that just 20 minutes of light movement a day can reduce balance issues by 30% and osteoporosis risk by 40%. But more importantly, it helps maintain independence, the one thing most women over 60 want most. She looked at me and said quietly,
I just want to tend my garden again.
That, I replied, will be our goal, not just to be stronger, but to live freely. I call this freedom fitness, the power to move without fear or limitation. After a few weeks of simple mobility, strength, and breathing exercises, Margaret returned smiling.
Doctor, I can walk around the lake again without stopping.
That's the true victory, not just physical recovery, but renewed confidence. When women start believing they can change their bodies, they begin to change their lives. So, whether you're 50, 60, or 70, remember your body can still heal. You just need to move right, eat right, and rest right. In the next part, I'll share 3 foundational movements that help women over 50 strengthen their hips, reduce back pain, and improve balance, all without a gym or fancy equipment. If you'd like me to send the detailed guide, follow the channel, subscribe, and comment 1 below. Because true health isn't about fighting age, it's about working with it, so you can live stronger, freer, and more fully than ever. When I first started guiding Mrs. Margaret through her exercises, she looked at me nervously and said, Dr. Collins, I've never been someone who enjoys working out. I'm afraid I won't be able to keep up. I smiled and replied, That's perfectly fine, Margaret. We're not here to compete. We're here to help your body remember how to move the way it was designed to. I explained that rebuilding strength doesn't begin in the gym. It begins with understanding your body. For women over 50, weakness usually isn't about age, but about losing muscle and flexibility around the hips, thighs, and lower back. When those muscles weaken, the body loses balance, and the knees and spine take on too much pressure. That's why I introduced her to the foundation. 3 simple movements to awaken the key muscle groups: the hips, core, and lower back. These are the pillars that keep the body stable and strong. Supported squat. I asked her to stand in front of a sturdy chair, hands resting lightly on the backrest. Imagine you're about to sit down, I said, But stop when your knees bend about 45 degrees, then rise slowly. At first she trembled, but I reassured her. Don't rush, just feel your body. After a few tries, she smiled. My thighs are burning, but my back feels lighter. That's your hips and thighs waking up, I told her. When they're strong, your knees and back stay protected. R. Sidestep balance. I had her stand beside a wall, one hand lightly touching it for balance. She stepped sideways with her right foot, then brought the left to meet it slowly and with control. She laughed. It feels like dancing. Exactly, I said. This dance keeps you from falling. It activates the small, stabilizing muscles around your hips and knees, the ones that react when you lose balance. Sen. Standing leg lift. Holding onto the chair, she lifted one leg behind her about 15 centimeters, keeping her knees straight and squeezing her glutes before lowering it slowly. At first, she wobbled. That's okay, I said. Your body is learning to regain control. Soon, she said, smiling, I can feel my hips and hamstrings working. Perfect, I replied. Strong glutes and hips make your lower body stable and ease pressure off your back. The Seaman Wanaswas Chime is attention peated in the row float. I explained that just 15 minutes a day could improve strength and balance by 40% within 8 weeks. A Cambridge University study also found that maintaining basic strength training can cut fall risk nearly in half. 2 weeks later, Margaret returned with a confident smile. Doctor, I can walk around my neighborhood without resting. I even help my husband in the garden, no back pain. I laughed. That's your body thanking you. And forces an eye blame, she said. I never thought such simple exercises could make me feel this strong and free. Because true strength, I told her, isn't about how much you can lift, it's about how well you control your own body. Before leaving, she turned to me and said softly, Thank you, doctor. I think I've found trust in myself again. I smiled. Margaret, your body was never weak, it just needed to remember how to move. As she walked away with a straight posture and steady steps, I felt proud. For me, recovery isn't just about being pain-free, it's about living confidently and independently at any age. In the next part, I'll talk about nutrition and recovery, two often overlooked keys to lasting health. You'll learn how to eat to rebuild muscle, reduce joint inflammation, and restore your energy so every morning you wake up feeling strong, light, and alive. When I saw Margaret a few weeks later, the change was clear. She walked into the clinic with a lighter step, a straight posture, and a bright smile. But I knew true strength doesn't just come from movement, it also comes from how we nourish and allow our bodies to recover each day. I asked her, Margaret, do you ever feel tired or sore after your exercises? She nodded. Sometimes, especially after the leg lifts, but it's more like muscle tension, not real pain. I smiled. That's a good sign, it means your body is working. But to keep improving, we need to make sure you're giving it the right fuel and enough recovery time. I explained that after age 50, the body's ability to repair and rebuild muscle cells slows down. That's why nutrition and sleep become essential parts of recovery. Think of your body like a garden, I said. If the soil lacks nutrients and sunlight, the plants will weaken, no matter how often you water them. And please that, then I shared 3 key nutrition principles: protein, healthy fats, and anti-inflammatory vitamins. First, protein, I said. After 50, protein synthesis drops by about 30%, so you need more protein to rebuild and maintain muscle. I suggested foods like salmon, eggs, Greek yogurt, lentils, and lean chicken. Every meal should include a source of protein. It's the fuel your body needs to repair itself. Next, healthy fats, especially omega-3 seconds from fish, chia seeds, and walnuts. They help reduce inflammation, lubricate joints, and improve vitamin D absorption. Think of them as oil that keeps your engine running smoothly. Finally, vitamins and minerals like C, D, and zinc. They help build collagen, the foundation of joints and ligaments. Eat more greens, fresh fruits, and spend at least 15 minutes in the morning sunlight. Margaret laughed. Looks like I'll need to clean out my fridge. I chuckled. No need. Just start with a protein-rich breakfast and some fish during the week. Your body will thank you. After a few weeks, she returned and said, Doctor, I have more energy, I sleep better, and I don't feel sore after exercising anymore. That's the power of proper nutrition, I replied. When your body gets what it needs, it heals and grows stronger. I also talked to her about something many people overlook: active rest. Not all rest means lying still. Gentle movement keeps blood flowing, helps muscles absorb nutrients, and removes toxins. After each workout, I told her, walk slowly for 5 minutes, breathe deeply, and drink a warm glass of water. That helps your body shift from working to recovering. I helped her set up a nighttime recovery routine. Turn off electronics 30 minutes before bed. Drink herbal tea or warm milk. Practice 4-6-8 breathing. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 6, exhale for 8. A week later, she said, I haven't slept this well in years. I wake up refreshed and my knees feel lighter. That's your body truly healing, I said. During sleep, your body produces growth hormones that rebuild muscles and strengthen your immune system. I reminded her that small daily movements matter most. When waiting for the kettle to boil, rise on your toes a few times. When watching TV, stand up every 20 minutes. Those little moves keep your joints and muscles alive. She laughed. My husband says I look like I'm dancing around the living room. I smiled. That's perfect, Margaret. Your body is finding its natural rhythm again. 3 months later, she came back glowing. Doctor, I can walk for 30 minutes every morning, do housework, and still feel full of energy. I feel alive again. I looked at her and said, that's the reward of consistency. The body always responds with gratitude when we treat it right. It is liver bid is a difference. In the next part, I'll share how to combine movement, nutrition, and recovery into a sustainable plan for anyone over 50. Because health, in the end, isn't a destination, it's a lifelong journey. A few months later, I met Margaret again on a sunny morning. She walked into the clinic with a straight posture, a bright face, and a proud smile. Dr. Collins, she said, this morning I walked around the park for almost an hour without feeling tired at all. I feel young again. I laughed. It's not the park that changed, Margaret, it's you. That is Friends of the Pleiad. Looking at her, I realized something simple but powerful. Small things, a few light exercises, a balanced meal, or a good night's sleep when done consistently can create remarkable change. Health doesn't come from miracles. It comes from small habits repeated every day. I told her, everything we've done, movement, nutrition, and proper rest, are pieces of what I call the golden circle of health. I explained, movement keeps your body strong and flexible. Nutrition provides the materials for recovery, and rest allows every cell to rebuild. When these three work together, the body doesn't just stay healthy, it becomes full of life. To help her maintain her progress, I shared a simple method called the 20-minute formula, something anyone can do every day. 5 minutes of gentle warm-up in the morning, stretching, joint rotations, or a short walk in the garden. 10 minutes of focused exercise during the day, light weights, balance work, or simple lunges. 5 minutes of relaxation before bed, deep breathing, or gentle stretching to calm the body. I told her, you don't need to be perfect or push too hard. Just stay consistent, your body will always respond. A month later, I received a card from her. Inside was a photo of her and her husband walking by the lake with a short message. Still walking, still smiling. I smiled. To me, that was the greatest reward, not just seeing a patient recover, but seeing them regain their joy and confidence in their own body. I often tell my patients, health is not a destination, it's a journey of small, steady steps. You don't have to change everything overnight. Start with the little things. Take 5 deep breaths each morning. Walk a few extra steps in the afternoon. Eat a balanced dinner, not too late. And at night, let your body truly rest. These may sound simple, but they are what keep your body strong and your mind calm no matter your age. I still remember Margaret's last words before leaving my office. Doctor, I've realized that the most precious thing at this age isn't living longer, it's living independently. I nodded. Exactly, Margaret. That's the true goal, not just to exist, but to live fully. If you're listening to me today, believe this, your body can change. Whether you're 55, 65, or 75, strength, flexibility, and vitality are still within you, just waiting to be awakened. If you'd like me to send detailed guidance on the 3 foundation exercises, nutrition tips, and a recovery plan for lasting health, leave a comment with the number 1, follow, and subscribe. And remember, health doesn't come from perfection, it comes from persistence. It's not about how much you do, it's about doing it every day. Because health isn't a destination, it's a journey. And that journey can begin today. Over the years, I've come to understand that true health is not built in a gym or found in a pill. It's created through awareness, consistency, and self-respect. Many women I meet think it's too late to start caring for their bodies after 50. They often say, "Doctor, my time has passed." But that couldn't be further from the truth. The body never forgets how to heal, it only waits for you to give it a chance. When I first started this journey as a physical therapist, I believed recovery was purely about movement and muscle. But as I worked with more patients like Margaret, I realized it's also about mindset. Once a woman believes she can change, everything else follows. Her posture improves, her breathing deepens, and even her eyes begin to shine again. That's why I often remind my patients, you don't have to be strong to start, you just have to start to become strong. It's never about perfection, it's about participation. Even 5 minutes of gentle stretching, done with intention, is far more powerful than an hour of exercise done with resistance or pressure. I tell them to treat their health journey like tending a garden with patience, care, and consistency. Some days progress will be clear and exciting. Other days it may feel slow. But every small effort counts. If you can wake up, move your body, nourish it with good food, and rest with gratitude, you're already winning. So wherever you are now, take one small step today. Stretch your arms, breathe deeply, walk outside, or simply smile at yourself in the mirror. That's how every transformation begins, not with force, but with kindness toward your own body. Because healing doesn't happen in a single moment. It happens in every moment you choose yourself.